Barry Gibb is a name that echoes through music history as a symbol of talent, resilience, and the complicated beauty of life, lived under both fame and grief. As the eldest of the Bee Gees, his voice shaped an era of pop and disco. Yet behind the glittering stage lights, his journey has been defined by personal tragedy, heartbreak, and the unbearable weight of loss. From his early childhood in a musical family to becoming the last surviving Gibb brother, Barry's life is a story of enduring grief, unwavering dedication to family, and a legacy that transcends awards and records. His story reminds us that even stars carry shadows. Early life in music. Barry Allen Crompton Gibb was born on September 1, 1946, into a family where music was as natural as breathing. His father, Hugh, played in bands, and his mother, Barbara, loved to sing. Growing up alongside siblings Leslie, Robin, Maurice, and later Andy, Barry was surrounded by laughter, sound, and creativity, even amid financial limitations. Constantly moving between England and Australia, the family faced the challenge of new schools, languages, and unfamiliar towns, but music remained their anchor. Barry clung to his guitar as a lifeline, nurturing a raw, emotional talent that already carried depth beyond his years. His early songs reflected honesty and vulnerability, while performing with his brothers at talent shows and street corners laid the foundation for a lifelong passion and bond. Forming the Bee Gees. The late 1950s and early 1960s marked the beginning of the Bee Gees' journey in Australia. Barry, Robin, and Maurice performed wherever they could, blending rock and roll with harmonious vocals inspired by groups like the Everly Brothers. Initial recognition was slow, with tiny opportunities on local radio, but the spark of talent was undeniable. Their dedication culminated in 1965, when their song began charting, attracting attention from record labels. As crowds grew, so did the brothers' confidence and ambition. The name Bee Gees, derived from Barry's initials and early supporters, symbolized family unity and a shared purpose. This period of small victories was pivotal, transforming ordinary boys into a promising band, laying the foundation for their rise to global stardom. Return to England and rising fame. By 1967, the Gibb brothers returned to England as a rising act ready to expand their reach. Their sound matured, blending pop, soul, and rock influences into a style that captivated audiences beyond Australia. Hits like Massachusetts demonstrated their ability to create music that resonated with listeners worldwide. The transition brought new opportunities, but also the pressures of international recognition. Fame magnified both success and internal tensions, challenging the brothers' unity. As the Bee Gees gained global attention, the delicate balance between personal relationships and professional ambitions began to strain, revealing that the challenges of success often lie not in the outside world, but within the family itself. Tensions and temporary separation. As the Bee Gees' success accelerated in the late 1960s and early 1970s, personal dynamics began to shift. Robin sought more independence as a lead singer. Barry naturally took charge of songwriting and front performances, and Maurice, the peacemaker, quietly absorbed frustration. Creative and personal differences escalated, culminating in Robin temporarily leaving the group. Fans were shocked, and headlines captured the fracture within the family. This separation highlighted the challenges of maintaining harmony under fame, illustrating that even the closest bonds can be tested by ambition, differing visions, and personal ego. Distance ultimately offered perspective, but it also foreshadowed future struggles that would define Barry's life as the surviving member. Reunion and global success. The late 1970s brought the brothers back together. sparking one of the most iconic periods in pop history. The Bee Gees produced chart-topping hits like Stayin' Alive and How Deep Is Your Love, blending emotional lyrics with infectious melodies. Their performances filled stadiums, and their influence reached international acclaim. Yet behind the music, time continued to march. Success did not protect them from personal and familial challenges. The contrast between public adoration and private vulnerability began to shape Barry's understanding of life. Even global recognition cannot shield a person from the fragility of human existence. This period marked both triumph and the looming shadow of personal loss that would follow in the decades ahead. Tragedy strikes. Andy Gibb. In 1988, the Gibb family faced its first devastating blow when Andy Gibb, the youngest brother, passed away at age 30 due to myocarditis. Andy's death left a void filled with grief that no music or fame could replace. For Barry, Robin, and Maurice, it was not only the loss of a sibling but also of a piece of the family's collective joy. Andy had embodied laughter and hope, representing the continuation of the family's musical legacy. His absence transformed Barry's life, forcing him to confront loss while still maintaining the public persona of a performer. It marked the beginning of a pattern of enduring grief that would shape Barry's personal and professional identity for years to come. Further loss. Maurice and Robin. The years continued to test Barry with relentless sorrow. Maurice passed away suddenly in 2003 due to surgical complications, and Robin succumbed to liver cancer in 2012. Each loss compounded Barry's loneliness, leaving him as the last surviving member of the family. These tragedies underscored the fragility of life and the impermanence of even the closest bonds. Barry faced the unimaginable challenge of carrying on both the family legacy and the emotional weight of grief alone. Despite his global fame and achievements, he was confronted with the most human of struggles, navigating profound loss and maintaining resilience in a world where support could not replace the presence of loved ones. Personal life and family beyond loss. Barry's personal life reflects both joy and heartbreak. His first marriage to Maureen Bates ended quietly in the mid-1960s, a casualty of the whirlwind rise of his musical career. Later, he married Linda Gray in 1970, with whom he raised 5 children: Stephen, Ashley, Travis, Michael, and Alexandra. This family provided stability, love, and a safe harbor away from the pressures of fame. Through the joys and sorrows of parenting, Barry cultivated a personal space where care, laughter, and connection thrived. His children became a source of enduring meaning, allowing him to transform personal pain into devotion and to build a legacy of love alongside his musical accomplishments. Legacy and achievements. By the 2000s, the Bee Gees' influence was firmly established as one of the most significant musical legacies of the 20th century. Their songs, marked by harmonized vocals and emotional depth, touched millions worldwide. The group earned 5 Grammys, 2 American Music Awards, a Brit Award, and sold hundreds of millions of records. Beyond commercial success, the Bee Gees' contributions shaped pop music's evolution, influencing artists across genres. Barry, as the last surviving member, became the custodian of this musical heritage. His work ensured that the melodies, harmonies, and emotional resonance created by the brothers continued to inspire listeners and uphold the family's artistic vision across generations. Recognition and honors. In 2018, Barry Gibb received a knighthood from Prince Charles in recognition of his services to music and charity. The ceremony offered a poignant tribute, honoring both Barry and the memory of Maurice and Robin. For Barry, the award symbolized decades of dedication, sacrifice, and enduring love for his brothers, reminding him that their collective achievements had not been forgotten. The recognition was more than a personal honor. It was a public acknowledgement of the sacrifices, resilience, and artistic brilliance that defined the Bee Gees. This milestone highlighted the intersection of achievement and remembrance, illustrating that legacy is inseparable from the relationships and lives that shape it. Conclusion: the enduring legacy of Barry Gibb. From a nomadic childhood filled with music to global stages and personal heartbreak, Barry Gibb's life embodies triumph intertwined with sorrow. The story of the Bee Gees is one of talent, ambition, and enduring brotherhood. Yet it is also a story of profound human vulnerability. As the last surviving member, Barry carries both the family's musical legacy and the weight of their memories. His life reminds us that behind fame and success lies the human heart, capable of great love, immense grief, and remarkable resilience. Barry Gibb's legacy endures not only through melody, but through the courage to carry on, to honor lost loved ones, and to connect millions of listeners to the emotional truths of life.